In the previous verses, Krishna has mentioned about, to hear about, glorify, remember, and worship the personality of Godhead. So, how can we develop the taste for hearing, remember, and glorify? So, at least for hearing. So, that hearing about Krishna, we develop that taste for hearing by serving the great personalities, Mahat Sevaya, okay, who are free from all vices. So, if we do that, then what will happen? We'll attain the affinity of hearing the message of Vasudeva. So, same thing, Prahlad Maharaj, sorry, not Prahlad Maharaj, but here Rushabh Dev is also instructing same thing to whom? His 100th son headed by Bharat Maharaj. If you go in Uddhav Gita, same thing is mentioned. So, Mahaseva Dwaram Ahur Vimukte. So, we have to serve the Mahatma. Okay, so that is emphasized. So, in this verse, out of 9 stages of devotional service, 3 aspects are mentioned. So, Adhu Shraddha is not directly mentioned. But of course, when you serve Mahatma directly, indirectly, knowingly, unknowingly, willingly to develop that Adhu Shraddha. Okay. Adhu Shraddha, then what will happen? Then you will do Sadhu Sangha. So, by serving Krishna and devotee, you develop Adhu Shraddha. Okay. So, after developing Adhu Shraddha, what will happen? You will develop Sadhu Sangha. In that Sadhu Sangha, again, you have to serve the devotees and Krishna. So when you go on serving them, then what will happen? Bhajan Kriya. Bhajan Kriya means, okay, chanting the holy name of the Lord, reading and hearing Bhagavatam. So that is Bhajan Kriya. So Bhajan Kriya is mentioned here. First 3 aspects of 9 stages of devotional service. So in the next verse, it says, what is the outcome of this hearing the message of Lord Krishna? So daily we recite in invocation, So it is mentioned, Sunuvatam Swakatha Krishna, Prunya Sravana Kirtana, Ridantasto Hiya Bhadrani, Vidunoti Surati Satam. This is Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma in everyone's heart and benefactor of the truthful devotees, cleans desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotees who has developed the urge to hear his message, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So what will happen? So when you hear this message, so this is called Anartha Nivrutti. Adho Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivrutti. Okay. So you have to hear the message attentively, not doing some other activity and you are hearing and all. So you have to attentively. So if you remember in the first chapter, 2nd verse, so what was mentioned? The hearing should be attentive and in submissive spirit. With rapt attention and submissive spirit. If you are not hearing with attention and submissive spirit, okay, then it will not be effective. So here, that's why it is mentioned properly heard and chanted. So nicely explained that what will happen? Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is Paramatma in everyone's heart and benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyments. If you have material attachment or maybe bad habits, whatever it may be, Ridantastohiya Bhadrani. See that verse. This line. Ridantastohiya Bhadrani Vidunoti Surata Satam. Okay. So if we hear, so cleanse desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotees who has developed the urge to hear his message, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. This is very, very important. So hearing, so sometimes we think, okay, we are practicing Krishna consciousness from long time and all, and we are chanting में भी हमारा मन उधर उधर भागता है, while hearing also mobile हाथ में होते हैं, or maybe we are doing some other activity while hearing, multitasking and all whatever. No? So if we are not doing this with rapt attention, message will not be so effective. That's why it's very, very important that Krishna will cleanse the heart of those devotees who has developed the urge to hear the message. Whose message? Krishna's message. Swakatha Krishna. Srunuvatam Swakatha Krishna. one who has developed the taste for hearing the Krishna Katha and which are in themselves virtuous. Punya Sravana Kirtana. So which themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Okay. So nice verse. So this is called Anartha Nivruti. So how Anartha will be Nivruti? Anartha will go away. Then it says in the next verse that Nashtaprayesu Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtaki. So here, proper translate. Nashtaprayesu Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So earlier I wanted to keep this title Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya of this verse from this verse. And I have taken that punch line. That what is that? That punch line. If you say bringing a revolution within the heart, so that I have taken from 5th chapter. That verse, that Janataga Viplava. So here it is mentioned by regular attendance in the classes on the Srimad Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. So Bhagavata Sevaya, okay, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental song is established as an irrevocable fact. So here, Nashtaprayesu Bhadresu, which is very easily understandable. Nashtaprayesu Bhadresu. Whatever is troublesome to the heart will be, what will happen? That will go away. That will be destroyed. How? By Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Nityam means always, and Bhagavata means there are two Bhagavat. One is book Bhagavat and one is person Bhagavat. There are highly exalted devotees like Srila Prabhupada, Narad Muni, maybe Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, then Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, then Rasikanand Prabhu, Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, and so our parampara, they are called person Bhagavat. Bhagavat means what? The stories. Bhagavat is the describe about Krishna and his devotee. So if someone is living the principle mentions in Srimad Bhagavatam, that person, that is called, who is called person Bhagavat. Let's say one person is following principles mentioned in Bhagavatam, then he is called person Bhagavat. So Bhagavata Sevaya means two things here. Reading and hearing Bhagavatam, that is one aspect. The second is serving the Mahabhagavat, serving the devotees who is very exalted. So that's why it is mentioned here that by regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee. One of them is sufficient if you do. But what will happen? Even if you are doing one, okay, so we'll read this purport. Here is the remedy for eliminating all inauspicious things within the heart, which are considered to be obstacle in the path of self-realization. So here is the remedy, how we can be free from the inauspicious thing from the heart. Abhadra. Then he says the remedy is the association of Bhagavatas. So there are two types of Bhagavatas, namely the book Bhagavat and devotee Bhagavat. Both the Bhagavat are competent remedies, and both of them or either of them, either both or both of them, either of them. दोनों या तो दोनों में से कोई एक is good can be good enough to eliminate the obstacles. So now how book Bhagavat and person Bhagavat, how the one of the two can be, even if either of them is there, it's sufficient to eradicate all the obstacles. So if you go to book Bhagavat, what will book Bhagavat will says? Mahadpada Sevaya. Then what he says? Mahadpada Rajo Bhisekam. Okay. Then what he said in Rusabdev, in the Bhagavatam, he says, Mahatsva Dwar Ahur Vimukte. So even Bhagavatam is telling, serve the highly exalted devotees. And when you go to highly exalted devotees, what will they say? Just like, if you go to some Maharaj or anyone, they will say, you read Bhagavatam. So if you go to person Bhagavan, Bhagavat, he will tell you to read book Bhagavat. If you go to book Bhagavat, he will tell you go and serve person Bhagavat. So even if you are one of them, so end of the day you will attain another one. So that way, either of them is sufficient to can be good enough to eliminate the obstacles. Okay, so a devotee Bhagavat is as good as book Bhagavat because the devotee Bhagavat lived his life in terms of book Bhagavat, and book Bhagavat is full of information about personality of Godhead and his pure devotee who are also Bhagavatas. Bhagavat book and personal book are and personal identicals. Okay, so I'll not read whole purport, but just to clarify. So we have to serve devotees, exalted devotees. Okay. So how you can see exalted devotees? You see their activities, observe them, you'll find out. Just like there are so many Maharajas. There is Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. Although he's 78, he cannot walk so fast, but still he at 4:30 early in the morning he will be in the altar and worshipping the Radha Ras Bihari or wherever he may be. It's called Book Bhagavad. He's doing whatever is mentioned. It is mentioned by Sutta Goswami that hear about, glorify, remember, and worship. So he's doing worship. After worshipping temple deities, he worships his own deity. Then he reads for 2 hours. Then he hears. Okay. Then, of course, so in their position, then later on he guides other devotee. So his activity you can see and you can find out how exalted they are. Okay. So if you meet him, he will tell you read Srila Prabhupada book, read Bhagavatam, read Bhagavad Gita, read Chaitanya Charitamrita, read Nectar of Devotion, read Nectar of Instruction, read Isopanishad. So they will direct you towards book Bhagavad. And when you read book, it is said go and serve them. Okay. So one of them is sufficient. So if you have one of them, second will automatically come. So this is the remedy of removing the inauspicious thing from the heart. So this is the problem, that no one is doing this thing. No one is taking the shelter of Bhagavatam. They every day they spend 30 minutes to read newspaper, 30 to 40 minutes. They see so many WhatsApp message. They see so many Facebook profile or whatever, Facebook post, Instagram post. They have sufficient time to watch YouTube video. Okay, discuss about घर घर की कहानी, उसका ये है, उसका वो है, but they don't have time to read Srimad Bhagavatam, read about Krishna, glorify Krishna, hear about Krishna. And we have to develop this ruchi, as we have discussed in Nectar of Instruction, that if you go through Nectar of Instruction, it's a very nice verse that Shat Krishna Nam Charitadi Sito Pita Narochi Kanu. So that verse number 7. Shat Krishna Charitadi Sito Patapta Narochi Kanu Kintu Adrat Khalu Dilam Sevajishta Sadi Pramad Bhavati Tadagada Mulahanti. The holy name, character, pastime, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like a sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by jaundice, so if someone is suffering through jaundice, he doesn't like to take the sugar candy juice, cannot taste anything sweet. He doesn't feel. Even if you give sweet thing to him, he will find bitter. So then he says, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, even when we may not have taste for hearing about, glorifying, remembering, and worshipping Krishna, but if we go on chanting these sweet names of Krishna, then what will happen? A natural release awakens within his tongue. So automatically the desire will be developed. So if you see those who have started their bhakti, gradually, they lose material interest and they develop the attachment for Krishna. You might have observed, yourself might have observed, experienced this thing. So this is the remedy. Okay. So what is that? Ado Saddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anatha, Nivruti, Nishtha. So this will Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtaki. So now Ado Saddha is a faith. So it's like, faith means faith like a banana tree. उसको थोड़ा घुमाओगे तो टूट जाएगा तुरंत. So someone have आदो श्रद्धा. Shraddha means you don't have a strong faith, but you have a little faith in Krishna. Nishtha means like a faith, like a strength, like a banyan tree. It is very difficult to second of that banyan tree. So after doing this thing, Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nimrutti. After doing this thing, what will happen? Anartha Nimrutti, Nishtha. So Nishtha will be developed. Your faith will be stronger. Just like let's say you are suffering from some disease, and one person will tell you, or maybe some of your friend or relatives will tell you, go and meet this doctor who will help you. Okay, just like I have allergy. So I had gone to many doctors, never got cured. So, one day when Prabhuji, he came and told me, this is a doctor, that doctor she's homeopathic doctor, you take her medicine, it will be helpful to you. I started that medicine. And now 8-9 months, I'm not going through that. Otherwise, every 3-4 days I was getting that sneezing, cold, and everything. Then what will happen? Now I have developed that strong faith. Earlier, okay, this devotee is telling, definitely there may be. So I have just little faith. But after experiencing that, I have developed strong faith. So when we perform bhakti, gradually the unwanted things will be eradicated. So as soon as it will be eradicated, then your faith will become stronger. So then what will happen? What will happen? Bhaktir bhavati neshtaki. So who is and loving service unto the personality of Godhead is established as an irrevocable fact. So strong bhakti, strong nishtha in the bhakti will be established. That's why this 18th verse is about nishtha. Okay, so that is what is mentioned here. So then, it again says that in the 19th verse, that's, then he says, Tajaramastamo bhava kama lobha dayasya cheta ete erna viddham sthitam sattve prasidati. So then he says that as soon as the irrevocable loving service is established, see, in the previous verse, whatever was ending, in this verse it is beginning. Same way from this 16th verse, it's happening like that. So as soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effect of nature's mode of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in the goodness and become completely happy. Okay, Nishtha Asakti, Nishtha Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav and Prem. Okay. So as soon as what will happen? That bhakti, your faith in the bhakti has become stronger. Then what will happen? That because of and when you perform the loving service, then the effect of nature's mode, passion and ignorance. What will happen because of patience and ignorance? Lust, desire, and hankering comes. As soon as you are passionate, we have discussed in Bhagavad Gita 16th chapter that what kind of desire person have who is in the mode of passion and ignorance, who is in the mode of goodness. If someone is in the mode of patience, is hankering. Okay, he has desire to enjoy, or he has a desire to attain. So that enjoyment, desire, and lust can be of two different level. One is for own enjoyment, the second is that he want to enjoy and harm other. So there are two things. Why here passion and ignorance? Okay, anyway, I don't want to detail. So why there are two things? Lust. So in lust there can be two categories. One that harming others, you just want to enjoy. Okay. Let's say lust. So you don't want to harm other. And second is, okay, you want to enjoy and harm other also. Just like Vritrasur, he was lusty to enjoy Mother Parvati, but at the same time he wanted to kill Lord Shiva. So that is called, he wanted to enjoy and harming others. There are some people, they just want to enjoy. Hiranyakashipu, he wanted to enjoy and harming other also. He wanted to harm other also. So lust can be, so this is harming other comes in ignorance, patience comes in enjoyment. So both the things are there. So lust, desire and hankering, these three things can have two things. For just personal thing and harming others also. That way it is mentioned patience and ignorance. Okay. So then the devotee is established in goodness. Okay. And he becomes completely happy. So when you are happy, what happened? You want to do it again. Oh, I want again. I want again. Nishtha, Asakti and Nishtha, Ruchi and Asakti. So you have developed Ruchi. So there are subtle difference in all those things. Nishtha and Ado Shraddha has subtle difference. Or maybe quantity wise difference. Okay. So now Ruchi and Asakti. Ruchi means you are liking that. Oh, but it's like this thing. Okay, you are liking, but if it is not available, that's okay. Let's say, you have one friend. Okay, if you meet him, you like it. But if you don't meet him, that's okay. So that is called kind of ruchi. You like it. Okay. So then asakti means you like it, but you don't remain without it. You want it. So as soon as you perform devotional service, then what will happen? You feel you will be established in the mode of goodness gradually, then you become completely happy. So as soon as you become completely happy, you want it again. How many of you, those who have experienced the happiness and you don't want to get it again? Definitely, right? So same way here it is said that, so here Ruchi and Asakti both are mentioned. That okay, Ruchi, you like it to do it again. Okay, but after certain time it will be such a that you don't like if you don't do it. Means you want to do it. Just like after performing devotional service, someone give up chanting for some time. They don't like it. They want to do it. If someone is reading Bhagavatam, they skip for few days. They don't like it without reading. They don't like. They feel what happened. They don't feel happy without reading it. Someone is attending Mangala Aarti for certain days, Okay, maybe because of bodily conditioning or whatever it may be, they may not attend Mangala Aarti, but on that day, he will definitely not like. He don't feel happy inside. So they don't remain without doing those activities. So that's why here it is Ruchi and Asakti both are there. Okay, so it's very nice verse. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effect of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear. So of course, here Nishtha is obviously, it's not that it is not that okay, Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, and Anartha Nivruti. तो ऐसा नहीं कि भाई आदो श्रद्धा आ गया उसके बाद साधु संग हो गया उसमें श्रद्धा नहीं है. So it's like a loop. एक के बाद एक लूप बड़ी होती जा रही है ऐसे बड़ी. Hope you are understanding this thing. तो वहां पे क्या है? So just like when you develop, when you came to the stage of anartha nivruti, so your interest, you feel, your faith is increased, nishtha बढ़ गई. So then what will happen? You again perform devotional service with enthusiasm and interest. So again you associate with the devotee, you perform your sadhana, then again there is anartha nivruti, then your faith will go on increasing. Then your ruchi and asakti will increase. So it's like elliptical. धीरे धीरे बढ़ाते जाता है ऐसे पूरा. So this is the way. So it's as soon as ruchi and asakti are a little bit unearthed, that they will be vanquished and like that. So this is what will happen when you perform devotional service. Okay, so we'll move ahead. So then again he says, evam prasanna manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogatah Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate. So he says, thus establishing the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by the contact with the devotional service to the Lord gain positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Okay, so material mind. So the man whose mind has been enlivened by the contact with the devotional service. So he has come in the contact with the devotional service. So basically, enlivened means he has developed the bhava now. Okay, he has developed that bhava, and by that, what happened? Positive scientific knowledge of the personality of God in the stage of liberation, and is free also. So he has reached to the prima stage. Okay, his liberation from the all material association. So then, this is what happened. This is the power of serving the Mahatma, hearing the message of Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's like mutual thing. It's not only one thing, mutual thing. So if you come to bhakti, then if you want to further advance, then you have to serve Mahatma. Okay, so it's both are simultaneous. Okay, so this is what will happen when you have developed that mode of goodness. Then unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by the contact of devotional service to the Lord gain positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from the material association. Again, Sukadeva Goswami has established that knowledge is byproduct of devotional service. Knowledge and detachment is byproduct of devotional service. Okay, so material association, he will get liberation from the material association. So detachment, sannyasa means what? You are giving up your home, property, or whatever is their family. So you are getting from the material attachment. So you are getting liberation from the material association. So as soon as you perform this bhakti, then you will again, knowledge automatically comes within the heart, as we discussed that Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yad Hetukam. And liberation will also come. Okay. So this is the power of devotional service. And this is the ultimate good for people in general, ultimate and absolute good. This is the essence of all the scriptures. Okay, so I'll stop here. Or if you want, I can take 2-3 more minutes. Okay, I can take this verse. And it says that Vidyate Hridaya Granthis Chhidyante Sarva Samsaya Kshiyante Chasya Karmani Drushta Evatmanisvare. So it says, thus the knot in the heart is pierced. As soon as you are established in irrevocable devotional service, then heart is pierced. Knot in the heart is pierced. Okay, Hridaya Granthi. Hridaya Granthi means material attachment. Men and women unite, and children. So this Prahlad Maharaj will tell in the Yan Methuna Adi. What is that? I forgot that verse. Anyway. Okay, this is the verse. But Surasabdev himself is telling there. Pumsam striya mithuni bhavam etam tayor mitha hridaya granthim ahur ato gruha kshetra sutapta vitter janasya moho ayam mam eti. So he says that attraction between male and female is the basic principle of material existence. I think because of this, whole material world is driven. On the basis of this misconception, which ties together the heart of the male and female, Hridaya Granthi. Okay, Hridaya Granthim Ahur. So we discuss here. What will happen? Thus the knot in the heart is pierced. So Hridaya Granthi is pierced. And what is that Hridaya Granthi? Is mentioned here. The attraction between the male and female is the basic principle of material existence. On the basis of this conception, so here means it is not in that sense, it is mentioned that they are uniting together to enjoy each other, exploit each other. But if they are coming together To serve Krishna, that is different thing. Okay, but that is also danger. That's why Srila Prabhupada says, no, having this kind of association is also danger. He says, he give an example. I forgot which verse he gave example. 2.34. Yeah, he give an example that even on the royal roads also accident happened. Even there is a royal road, and there is a probability that accident will take place. So even we are doing a bhakti by male and female unite, that is also dangerous. What will happen? Okay, that is not wrong, but maybe dangerous. So then what will happen? On the basis of this misconception, which ties together the heart of the male and female, one becomes attracted to his body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. It's very nicely explained how it progressively develop. So when male and female they come together, then what will happen? They need privacy. So privacy मतलब खुद का घर चाहिए. Okay, they are attracted towards each other's body, so they want to enjoy each other. So they need privacy. So for that home, okay. So now, to keep each other happy, they need property. Okay. Then children will come up. So as soon as children will come up, they need to establish them. They want welfare of the children. They want that they become good in the society. So then they have to make relationship with so many people. You need wealth to establish relationship. So this is how the chain will start. So in this way, what will happen? So it is very nicely explained in one of the book called Journey of Self-Discovery. Please read this book. It's a very small book, means maybe 100, 200 pages. Journey of Self-Discovery. It will really pierce the heart. So in this way, the one increase life's illusion and thinks in terms of I and mine. So, but when you engage in the devotional service of the Lord, then what will happen? This knot, whichever the knot, this we discuss in this verse. Of course, when we come to this chapter, we'll discuss again. So I'm not going in detail. Thus, the knot in the heart is pierced, and all misgiving are cut to pieces. All misgiving. Chidante sarva samsaya. Vidyate hridaya granthi. Thus, knot in the heart is pierced. Granthis and chidyante sarva samsaya. All the misgivings are cut to pieces. Then what is happened? Shriyante chasya karmani. The chain of fruitive action is terminated. Shriyante means terminated or maybe deteriorated. It will be reduced. It will go away. Shriyante chasya karmani. The chain of fruitive action is terminated. Drushtva eva atmani isvare. When one sees self as a master. Okay. So yourself as a master means in that context it is taken that we are not this body, we are soul, and being that our duty is to serve Krishna. Okay, so since we are part and parcel of Krishna, so in that sense we have to consider here. It's not Mayavad philosophy. Okay, so this is the power of devotional service. So in this chapter also we saw how the 9 stages of devotional service are mentioned from verse number 16 to 20. And this is the result if you follow that. So I'll not take much time. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So if you have any question, comment, feedback, you can unmute yourself and ask. So